Hello everybody. Hello everyone. How are you doing? So we're gonna start in 2 seconds. I have pretty much everything ready and set up. We're just gonna hold on. I'm hearing myself. And what did I want to say? Okay, well, it took me a little bit to get home. It's been a fantastic day today out there. And I had to clean one of my RC cars because you can't get it in completely filthy. So I'm gonna put it back there in the room because this is like the secret of the studio, and one of many. And we're gonna get started right off the bat. So just enjoy. I think I set up the windows and everything correctly, and we got synths on. We're gonna play some synthesizers with digital reverb or digital hardware reverb because we've been talking about that for quite a while. So do the plugins, digital plugins, obviously sound the same as the digital hardware that I have? I don't know. We're gonna try it out. But first, gotta set these up. Ciao. Give me 2 seconds. And I'm back. So here's the layout. Here's what we're gonna do. I have some stuff here that is currently not playing. Yes, I know why. Because it's right. Okay, so I have the base station set up. Actually, not the channel. I have to set it up. But I have my Prophet 6 and Prophet 12 set up. We can set up the Nord lead, whatever. But the question came a couple weeks ago about digital reverb plugins and digital reverb hardware reverb. So is hardware the same as a plugin? If it's digital, right? It should be. But is it? We don't know. So I just so happen to have VSS3 by TC Electronic, which I love, the plugin, and I have an M3000 hardware reverb by TC Electronic, which share the same exact presets, down to the name and categories. So do they sound the same? To do that, obviously, you could set up a drum pattern or something and just play it all the same. But I'm tired of playing things back, so I'm gonna play whatever, and we're just gonna get a vibe for it. Because when I'm playing it, if it feels different, it will be different. So I've also set up my Amiga here behind me with Sonics, which is a software synthesizer that I absolutely love. However, today, for some weird reason, the MIDI isn't working. It should be working, it's not working. I usually use my DW8000 to play the Amiga or the base station, whatever. It's just, any MIDI keyboard I have, for some reason, it's not working. I know I've played Sonics with MIDI keyboard, but it's an Amiga 1200, so we gotta expect that. So, but everything's set up. What else? Well, yeah, okay. Well, how do you know it's set up? How do you know it's set up? It's because we have the tracks in here. So I have Amiga, Prophet 6, Prophet 12, M3000, VSS3. Oh, actually, we could have my baseline play stuff or even arpeggiated stuff. Okay, well, we can have things played exactly the same pattern and just fiddle with it. You'll have to trust me that I am calling the same presets, but these are stock presets, so it doesn't quite matter. Once I toggle, for example, VSS3, I also have my user presets. There's a preset I did for VSS3, which comes from a famous composer, and his M3000 preset I've gotten, and then that's how partly I wanted the M3000. Anyway, if we go, for example, to film, and we go to Dialog, Office, outside. Okay, outside, awesome. There's a preset called Big City, which I'm gonna load actually. Now, Big City happens to be the second preset that I have there, okay? So what we're going to do, because these are all either mono or stereo presets, I have to go back there and tell the M3000 that we are going to take left and right and send it to both programs, because the M3000 has two programs, not just one, and they can be used in parallel, in series, all that stuff. I usually like to have the left go to the program A and become stereo. Actually, no, how do I do it? I have to check it out because it's set up. So just bear with me. I'm gonna check these out. And I think this could be a better solution for you to just see the M3000. I'm gonna set it up just so that we have one program versus one program. It doesn't make sense to do parallel. In the meantime, I hope you folks are having a good time. Wait for me. Okay, so big cities here, combine two, perfect, IO, routing, dual input. So one, oh, perfect. Okay, awesome. All right, it was already set up. So it's called dual input. Okay, so left goes to left and right of program 1, and right goes to left and right of program 2, which then gets summed into the A and B, or left and right, or 1 and 2 outputs of the M3000. Why do you care about these? Well, if you have hardware stuff, you do have to care somehow, because that's how it works. These things go, okay, so it's clocked from itself. I made sure I am not clocking from the Antelope, because that's what I usually do, but I want to clock it just internally. There's no clock cable behind it, so it cannot take the clock from anything else than itself, its own crystal thing. 48K, 48K in here, but the M3000 is going into my 2-bus summing box by Dangerous Music. So in theory, this would be an unfair comparison, because the M3000 being digital could be identical to the plugin of the VSS3. Oh, I'm here. So let me just recap this. The way the M3000 is set is dual input. Okay, so we're all there. Dual input meaning it's taking the left and right inputs and sends them to program 1, left, right, and program 2, left, right. This is happening in digital, it's virtual. Then these two programs get summed up in parallel to output 1 and 2, okay? However, even if the M3000 is hardware and it's clocked in itself, it's digital, so it should be the plugin. It's going into the hardware, my 2-bus summing box by Dangerous Music. So because it's going into that one, this means that it's not fair. We're getting the summing box feature, okay? So some people might say, well, you know, it's gonna sound better. Is it gonna sound better? We're gonna test it out, because I've run some tests. You know, it's close. So you can leave now. I gave you the short answer. Too long, didn't watch. But it wouldn't be fun, right? Now, we gotta make some tests here in VSS3 and in the M3000, because now I am sure I am sending stuff to the program Big City. In fact, if I play this, I'm actually gonna give it VSS3 as well to these folks here. We're gonna listen to, for example, my Prophet 6, whose program number 8 is really weird. Hold on, my mic is not reaching out to where it should go. Okay, so program 8 is kind of weird. But you know, you know what, we're gonna use that. This is a true patch. I mean, I made very ugly sounds. It's kind of nice though. Come on. And it's a patch I've used a lot of times in a lot of music I've made, and it's patch number 8 for some reason. I don't think it's stock. It shouldn't be. It's not that good to be a stock preset. However, this was now playing through both things. So by itself, there's a bucket brigade delay and a chorus. So I'm gonna keep the effects of the Prophet. Okay, that's how it sounds dry. If I instantiate the M3000, it sounds like this. There's a very long tail, and this big city is just, it's one of the presets I keep all the time because it's very airy, very transparent. Now, if we play this, which then with the bass line we're gonna do while it's going, I don't think it's really gonna be the same. Reason being, my two-bass is set at -6. 12 o'clock is -6. But I am going plus 12 here. So we should have a dry gain of nothing. This should be full wet. And we should probably have an out gain that is coming out of here. Okay, well, we're gonna do this. We need a dry that is completely off, because that's what's happening there. It's a mix 100%. And we're gonna send these 2 + 6. Pretty much the same as having the output of the two-bass plus 12, but I am -6 on the hardware unit. So that makes both at +6. Let's try and get a vibe for what this is looking like. Okay, well, it's all fun and giggles, but it's a lot louder, and it sounds beautiful. Big City is just, I mean, the SS3 is just awesome. So we're gonna do a mixer delay here, or you know what, we're gonna gain it here. We're gonna do maybe 12 again for the two-bass return. I'm thinking, why is it that low? Well, it's probably it's the way I've gained the unit in the hardware. So how about let's do 2 notes, or let's do a hold arpeggiator. Hold on, let me do let's do something weirder. So okay. Okay, let's do this. Arpeggiator on. Actually, let's do a record. Okay. Okay, let's do. It's synced to the MIDI tempo, and so because I'm not playing anything, it's just not giving it. But it doesn't matter. We're gonna do it this way. Let's do this. So does it make sense? This thing is still playing. I just lowered the volume down. If you match the volume to it, and which could be easily done with just a simple sine, which we should do, honestly. It's sounding pretty much the same. These things are getting out to mix. Everything is going to mix. If I send a sine wave into these instruments, we'll get which kind of level difference we have. It sounds pretty close now, so I'm gonna raise the volume again, and then we're gonna still do a comparison. Okay, they don't sound the same. They don't sound the same. We could go on and check the preset, decay, reverb, delay, high cut. Yes, there's a reverb gain of -2. There's an early gain of 0. This is probably, however, also in the preset there. The early, church large, -4 center, natural wide. These are all things that the M3000 has. So, is it the same? It's not exactly the same. Okay, it's not about the volume itself, it's that the VSS3 sounds a little bit more polite, right? Somehow. Okay, well, all right, let's forget about this. Dry gain is off, which makes sense. It doesn't even make sense if I do a sine comparison with the volumes, because the presets might have some difference there. So I'm thinking we have to keep going with that. Now, well, the second preset I really love, which is... okay, the other preset I really love is In the Clouds. It's called In the Clouds. It should be here as well. Can we do A, B? Yes, let's do B. Music, no, it's actually film, public spaces, studios. No, it should be an outside still. Maybe not. Maybe no. In the Clouds, dialogue, call, very small, outside, public places. Public places? No. Ooh, where is it? So, is it a plate? Is it a room? Is it a vocal? I'm sure it's in here. You probably saw it already. Also, the other thing this plugin has that the M3000 doesn't, it's signature presets. And now signature presets, they're really good. There's Jason stuff, there's Andy Summers stuff that I don't have. I should really copy the signature presets there in the real unit and just try it out. But we gotta find out this film thing. So where would In the Clouds be? Dialogue. Yeah, well, it's alphabetical at least. Hotel, no. House, no. Office, no. Outside. I can't believe it's not here. It's impossible. Studio. It's impossible. So I found a preset. I have to go look where this is. Oh, okay, I see it. It's outside. Oh no, it's a hall preset. Okay. Music, hall. It should be in here. In the Clouds. Oh, okay, it doesn't exist. So not all presets were made for this thing. Okay, let's just find out in case things were moved around. In the Clouds, In the Clouds. Okay, so if you want In the Clouds, which I've been using a lot, you cannot have it on VSS3 unless somebody gives you the parameters and you dial it in, which would take a long time now to go back and forth. I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna find something else. Where there's a super famous preset which is called large wormhole, which I tend to call large wormhole, obviously. So let's try large wormhole, and I am going to dial it in for preset B. So bear with me a second. It should be here. Excel? No. Cars, now nature, events around. This is large wormhole. Perfect. So it took me like 2 hours of twisting the dial, right? But we got it. So large wormhole falls into the category of VSS3 on the M3000 because it specifically used an algorithm that TC Electronic was super proud about, right? Obviously. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this large wormhole and actually keep playing this. Do we change patch? No, let's try this just right off the bat. Same volumes we had, no dry gain whatsoever. I'm gonna raise it on and we're gonna listen to the VSS3 first. Sounds good, right? I mean, it's super famous. It sounds like a whole. It's a little bit short, but I mean, I would imagine it would be a large hole. It doesn't quite sound, but it's so dark orange, somehow brownish. It's beautiful, and it just fits a ton of genres. This is one of the standard presets a lot of people who would have M3000s or superior devices would have on one of the engines, they're called, like one of the presets. They're usually that one because it just sounds so nice. Now I'm gonna raise it and then I'm gonna listen to a little bit of VSS3, then I'm gonna let it dry out, and then I'm gonna try VSS3, the M3000, whose engine 2 is Big City, is bypassed, so it's not playing, and the number 1 is there. So we could do something else as well, just so you know. Well, but it's bypassed, but it's in mix 100%, so you don't get the dry. Okay, that's just so you know. Well, we can experiment with it if it's a gain thing again, but let's get a feel for VSS3 versus M3000. Okay, these two sound completely different. Up to the point where I think somebody might have messed with the original stuff. So I wanna check it out. We're gonna check it out. So DK 3.3 reverb delay 14 milliseconds. I have to just adjust this. Hold on. Let's do this. Aha! So this DK is 3.3. I'm sure I haven't touched this, but the DK here is 1.9. The early level is gained at minus 9.5. It should be 0 if we were to do it here. Okay, so I'm gonna change it from the VSS3, okay? This is fun. This is fun. All right, let me drag this. I can't really reach the mic from here. Can I? No, maybe. Can I reach the M3000 from here? Oh, maybe yes. Okay. It works. So 1.9, that's fine. Then we have a DK early gain. Is it a reverb gain or early level? Rev level. Okay, the rev level is at 0 and the early gain is at minus 9.5. So we verify if the parameters are actually the same. Then we have a mix 100%, out level 0. Okay, this is nice. I have to scroll the page. Okay, then we have reverb delay 0, and here it was 14, so 0. Hold on, because I moved too much. Reverb delay 14. Okay, no, wait a second. This was right. Was it 14? We got 14 there. All right, so pre-delay 0. See, somebody messed up these settings. Early type, random, one size, center. Oh, I love this. So early type, random. So this was definitely somebody who changed it. Early color, 6. Right? Early size, one size. That's true. Early high color, early balance, center. Okay, so one thing that is different is here, the early color. There's a high color and there's hold on, there's okay, high color is probably -6, doesn't matter, right? Okay, then the reverb is natural, diffuse is default. Okay, diffuse is default, so the settings are matching. This is a good thing that we can try these out. The reverb here. Okay, the reverb balance is centered. The high cut is 2.51. Right, so this is balanced in the center. I'm curious as to the high soften is 14. The high soften here. Where is it? Okay. Well, the high soften is 14. Okay, it's just me not finding things. Low dampen. Where's this? Okay. I have high crossovers, 1.26. High crossover, 1.26. Mid crossover, 236.7. So this should be 236. Okay, 235. We can't really get the settings the same. Low mid, okay. Low crossover, 59.57. See, this is a case of different thing. Now the decays. The high, where's the high decay? Up here. The high decay is 0.73. Right, so this one wasn't changed. The mid decay is 1 and the low mid decay is 0.89. Low mid decay 0.89. 1. We're only missing the low decay, right? Here. 0.81. And low damp frequency, okay, 0.81. Okay. Oh, what are we? Low cut maybe? Low dampening frequency, low damp. Okay, maybe. Low damp, yes. It's called low damp frequency and it's low cut here. So the low damp frequency is 183. Okay, this was right. See? I mean, this was changed for sure. The low dampen is at -3.5. Awesome. And there's maybe more. Okay, yes. Type smooth one default 50%. So where? What? The mod maybe? Smooth one default reverb mod? Width 50%. Well, the width here isn't something we can really space mod with maybe. 50? No, reverb mod with. I'm thinking it should be this one. Right. Okay. Smooth one default, that's okay. Space modulation, type off. Okay, doesn't matter what the rest is set to. It's only the reverb width that I find kinda weird. Where is it? The reverb width should be maybe at the very start. No. Okay. Center, high cut, natural diffuse, soften crossovers, dampening, type, smooth default, type rate with 0, the modulation, it doesn't matter. Okay, so, well, we got it to the same settings. What have I learned from doing this? That everything you find in the M3000 is here, minus the nomenclature being a tiny little bit different, okay? So my preset was clearly completely different. Now, I don't think anybody changed the big city setting, but this one was like completely off, all right? So we're gonna play it now that I got it to the settings of my M3000. So we went through the each and every setting, okay? And there's nothing to chance now. Pre-delay 0, high cut, high decay. I want to just make sure we got it down. How about the high cut and high decay? Oh, well, yes, because these are settings that are inherited from here. So if they read in early and reverb and mod, main is just replicating some stuff here in the top, easy access kind of settings plus the quick bar. Okay, nice. I think this should be the same. So how about the VSS3 now with the Prophet 6? Okay, how about the M3000? So, I mean, what? I don't know. Right? It sounds really close. It sounds really close. Consider this. My M3000 is getting analog in and analog out. So we have an A to D converter there, and we have a D to A converter back out. And when we're coming out of my audio card, there's a patch bay with Bantam, Mogami, whatever. It's getting into the unit in analog, more cables to get out, plus the conversion, getting into the summing box of a dangerous 2-bus by itself that is doing tons of summing. There's 16 channels of effects getting summed to 2, but on top of everything, once the settings are matched, once again, now here we went through the real settings, like in the city, big city, it sounded close, but we didn't check if the settings were identical or not. This one we did, because my large wormhole is not large wormhole any longer. It's been changed and saved over. I don't know by whom, but it did happen. So what I did is I went through the same settings, copied them over the plugin, found that the settings are 1-to-1, the same names, played it out, sounds pretty close, okay? Real close. So now I want to go where nobody has gone before. Sorry about that. It's a great TV series. Let's do something completely weird. Okay, Watchtower Inside. Okay, Scissor Hands Parlor. I mean, the preset names here are just off the hook. Budapest West Railway Station. That is also a great one I've used. I don't remember. AES Show Lobby. We should give these a go. AES Show Lobby. But this is too filmy and too, we should have a voiceover probably. So let's do Watchtower Inside, or let's do the Abbey. Subway Tunnel. Let's do Subway Tunnel. If you have recommendations, just write them in chat, which I hope I'm able to read somehow. Top messages, whatever. Yeah, okay. I have you. I think I do. Do I? Okay. Let me just make sure that nobody wrote stuff, because last time I lost some. Okay, well, nobody wrote anything. All right. Don't bother. No worries. It's all good. Why have I lost my chat here? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. So I'll check the chat from time to time. Back to it. So, big city, let's change to subway tunnel. I'm gonna stop my my Prophet 6 here. Let the hold not resonate. All right, and we are going to play with these subway tunnel, but on the what? Let's do the Prophet 12. What do I have here? Okay, let's keep these, or let's change some. Let's keep these. I have no idea why we shouldn't, right? So let's hold it. Isn't it absolutely awesome? This is just so good. So good. Love the Prophet 12 as much as my 6. It's just two completely different things. Anyway, we gotta load the subway tunnel in here. So let's do this. Let's exit here from edit. Let's go to the spaces. It will take me 300 hours to get to nature. Out Excel. Well, this was film public places. There will never be a way to, is it okay, between cars in, okay, I am in XXL. There's public toilet, probably not what, subway tunnel. I found subway tunnel. It's here. It's the same exact preset. Do we want to give it a check? Just a decay, 6.5 on the plugin, 6.5 on the reverb unit. So let's find something else extremely weird. Reverb gain, okay, high cut 4.10 kilohertz and decay 58. Let me go here. 9.5. That's a 9. Okay. That should be 9.5, otherwise it's not the same. So expert mode? No, I don't want to be expert mode. Position distant. Just make sure. Fast, center, street, distant. Okay, well, people, this is as close as you can get. So it's the same thing. Okay, let's hear the M3000. Okay, so now we gotta make sure that we're not getting fooled by the engine itself. So let me do this. Let me send a tone test generator. Right, yeah, well, thank you very much. Reverbed. I'm gonna mute everything so we don't have it. And we are going through that reverb. Now, what happens if I completely, let's do a -20 just for kicks. It's fluctuating. You can see that in the mix, right? Because it's building itself up. Let's do actually -32 because it's building up a lot. Awesome. So this test generator is now going through that. What happens if I bypass this program? Because I'm looking at programs that are differently set. Awesome. So we don't get anything. Okay, does it make sense? If I bypass the program, we're not getting dry outs. I wanted to make absolutely sure that was the case. So, right. There's another thing we should do, which is as follows. We should make sure we have the right delay timings for the M3000. You see these? The send gain was at -9, and that makes sense, see? But there's a delay of 0. So it could be that was generating a kind of a tiny little shift, okay? So how do you do check for delays in your hardware, which you don't have to do when you have plugins, right? So first off, you mute this thing because You don't want things to play. You mute the test generator as well. And if you measure delay now, you get minus 14 milliseconds because there's reverb there and nothing is playing at all. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to take one preset on. Trust me, I'm doing that. Trust me, it's happening. We go to the mix section in the routing, in the I/O, and we reach to mix, and we go to mix values. Okay, so if we go to mix value here, and then we go to edit the engine, we now get to select the mix value of this program, which we now drop at 0%. So now what happens is when I test these, if I'm not wrong, oh, I still get that. Why? Oh, I see why. Because we are sending out to this thing, but it's not coming out. Okay, so the reason why this is happening is that I know what I should do. I should do a rebalance of this thing coming out in it, but I will cheat. I have a 1.75 delay out of things. And I know that because all of my synths coming out of there in the audio through my two bass and stuff are at 1.75. The pedals are as well. So the 1.75 milliseconds should be fine. Let's press hold. Let's listen to this. It was just a low C. And let's go again, M3000 versus VSS3. I'll start from the M3000. That's too much, obviously, because I forgot to set the mix back, obviously. So we're getting two right. Here we go. Okay. Engine 1 subway tunnel versus subway tunnel. So here, the difference in this case is set, in my opinion, for some reason, to either the spaces or it's a timing thing, but it's not about the syncing. I think it's about the tempo of the arpeggiator versus what I'm getting there. However, well, this sounds different. For sure. It sounds different. So it's going into -9 and it's then -6. If we do a 6 here and we do 0 here and then we do a -9 here, we do a 0 and we do a mixer delay in gain of -9. I can do the pre, right? That's true. It should be closer, but it's in gain, but it sounds different. So this sounds right. Sounds also good, right? It's a very nice thing. Sounds mono-ish, like very deep. It's cool. But how about the M3000? I got it. So my input into the M3000 is at -9. This is important because it's sort of like tickling the digital DSP in a specific way, okay? So the M3000 is getting a -9 offset into it. Now I've created a -9 offset in the plugin based on the pre-gain on the channel innuendo. So I am getting the same -9, okay? The M3000 comes out, gets into my 2-bus by Dangerous, the summing box, which is set at -6, but I compensated it at +6 on the output fader. So I am getting that back. Granted, yes, it should sound different because we have the summing box in, but then again, how different that is? That's my question, right? To you and to me. Is it, considering it's a hardware effect unit, quite expensive compared to the plugin? You can only use one, and it's going into a summing box, a famous summing box, so it should sound even better. But there's conversion as well, which this one hasn't got to do. So how does it sound? Now that they're equally getting tickled, we no longer have that weird, like, why was that sounding weird? It was sounding weird because the M3000 was getting a much stronger signal into it, and then it was just compensated in output. It's not the same. Your reverbs will get tickled differently. So now they're really there, and it sounds close. Let's do another comparison. If I had to say one thing about the both of them being, I mean, they're close, but there's a sort of a center halo in the VSS3, which is part of the reverb, but it makes things center focused to me. While the M3000 program here just sounds really good. It's wider. I don't know if you need width out of these programs, but if you were looking for kind of an analog vibe, it could be the summing box, however. So they're close. They're real close. Real close. I say we should go and play some Amiga stuff. I'll play the base station later on as well. I want to, let's drop these two down, compare this sound, right? I can't play it here because the MIDI wasn't working, but it should be working down there. Can you see it from there? Yes. So what I'm gonna do is just test out if this is playing. Bear with me 2 seconds. It is. Okay. It's a little bit low though. Let's crank it up. Okay, M3000, right. But it's not getting the effect. Why isn't it? We could do completely different. It's bone dry, right? Shouldn't be bone dry. So let's do this as well. And let's play this again. This isn't bone dry for sure. Right, okay. So this sounds good. How about my Amiga thing? Come on, Amiga. So what I see is that the 1-2, oh, is not really going in there. Ah, too bad. It's not a good day for the Amiga 1200. It's just playing completely bored. Poor dude. Why is it happening though? It's gotta be something with the routing I've redone. Shame on me. Anyway, what we can do is the bass line probably, or the bass station. Let me do this. Bass station. Let me play this BS2. Okay. Let's try this thing. This could work. All right. So this sound through the M3000. Do we hear it? Not that much. Okay. Something's kind of weird, though. Why is the M3000? Or maybe it needs to just be tons more. Okay, how about the VSS? This is the correct version. This is the right one. Why aren't you playing? Maybe I have to reinstall. Okay, hold on. I think I know why. It doesn't. That's not the droids we're looking for. But it should be right. It's getting in there. It's subway tunnel. There's nothing going on. Let me double check. I/O routing mix 100 stereo analog split. Okay. Subway. Parking distance. Subway platform. Budapest. Railway. Subway tunnel. Okay. Let's do the Budapest station. Right on. Okay, so let's do this. It was here, right? We found it. Film, public spaces, Budapest West Railway. Awesome. So off, doesn't matter. Let's play this. But it's coming out very, 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 very low. While this one certainly isn't. Wow, this sounds real good. Why has the M3000 completely died on me? Has to be a reason. There has to be a reason. Let's go find out. Okay. Do you need any more explanation on why hardware is weird? Right? So, it's, who, why, what? Okay. So it's there, but it's super low. I think I reinstantiated something out there. All right, so let's create something that kind of sounds let's go somewhere. Okay, this one. Let's do whatever, like a played ARP sequence on latch. Okay, this is nice. How about the VSS? Sounds to me like it's just a volume thing again. I mean, even on the long note, on the high notes, it's quite, it's close. It's real close. So obviously, yes. Do you have plugins that all the time mimic digital hardware? Well, it depends. I mean, in this case, we have an M3000 versus the VSS3. It's known that this was the plugin port by the same company, right? So, so you know, that could happen. It just sounds, it sounds quite close. Once you match, I mean, the settings aren't even compared. So sometimes I found that there's like -9 versus -9.5. So if you go and match things, they could sound completely identical. But even preset versus preset, they're there, you know. And again, I'm going A to D, D to A, tons of cables, the summing box by Dangerous Music, and yet it's there, you know. Imagine if we were to do a more cable to cable. Oh, imagine if I were to use digital, because the M3000 also have a digital in and out. So if I were to use EBU to go there, EBU to go there, you know, then we wouldn't have conversion stages. We would have no analog summing box. How close would that be at that point, you know? Hi, Alan. So I have a question. Alan says, like, did you left away Studio One for Cubase? No and yes. I use Studio One still because I have tons of projects there, but I joined a team a couple years, that's a year and a half ago. I joined a team who was using Nuendo exclusively for post-production, game effects and stuff, for royalty-free productions and things you pitch to development groups, and they were all using Nuendo. One of the folks actually used to work in Steinberg, and so we got I got on board and I got endorsed with Nuendo as well, just because they are, you know, endorsed with cool people. So I do work mainly these days in, I would say it depends, like it can be 60-40, 70-30, but I do use Nuendo a lot. And then Studio One, yes, because I have tons of projects. I have converted some of them manually, and it's painful. It's painful. It takes you a lot of time to just take care of all the automation and stuff. And other things really don't make sense because they sound good where they are and how they are in Studio One, so I use both. And Studio One is just a fantastic. I've written so much music on it, just doesn't even matter. Nuendo in comparison is just giving me, now it's better, but it used to give me a scare factor of, like, you know, anything you touch has a function and you cannot move your mouse around freely just pretending to just take a stroll with your mouse cursor. You'll pay for it because every pixel almost triggers something. So you got to be careful where you are with your mouse, and sometimes it's really it's tiresome. It's fatigue inducing somehow. But you know, Studio One has a more, I don't know, maybe I've used it more in the old times. I don't know. I feel comfortable. It is a cleaner UI, right? Somehow it's more limited for sure. Nuendo had a lot of immersive audio way before, so we're working in ambisonics a lot, so it just worked. But it, you know, Studio One's catching up for sure, for sure. So what I want to do now is I want to play the Amiga. I want to play the Amiga. I don't care. So nothing's been working in the Amiga land today. How about I go play this? All right, hell, give me a second. So this is so weird that this track isn't taking what should happen. It's just, this is weird. I want to do, I can't really do it. This is how it should work. Does it get this one? Oh, hold on. I saw why. I have to take a look at the mixer. Why there's something weird. Hold on. Okay. Okay, yes, I knew there was something weird. It's coming out on just 1 and 2. Why is that? External instruments? Aha! Why does it want to record that? No, it is this one. Go. And yes, okay. So now we solved these. It doesn't matter. It should have reverb, right? It should be playing with reverb. It's got the VSS3 thing. Okay, this is weird and fun. Don't tell me this doesn't sound insanely good. And if MIDI worked like yesterday, I'd be able to play it with the DW8000, but it's not happening. So, okay, well now we got it. You hear how it's split? It's the 4-channel Pola thing. It's... This is so good. It's not a stream about the Amiga, but it's just so good. Anyway, so VSS3 versus M3000. We still got the same presets, right? If things worked with Budapest West Railway Station, we should get the same sound. So I'm gonna let VSS3 play first. That's the one we heard before, until now, and then I'm gonna let it dry out and then put M3000. Okay, once again, I gotta be honest with you, I like the hardware better. Thank you, Alan. You're most welcome. If you have questions, just ask. I check the chat from time to time. I lost some messages the other time because I'm not that, live stream influencer kind of fast. But I check messages, so just don't worry. If you have questions, just ask. I was saying I like the hardware unit better. There's the summing box in it. We gotta be, apples to apples. There's also the A to D and D to A conversion. There is this halo thing in the middle. And I'm glad I did the Amiga test because it's such a left-right split down thing. You hear it? What it does? It's generating a very old school 90s stereo thing. Tracker music, how I used to do it? There were like 4 channels and 2 are left, 2 are right, and people were cheating and like overdubbing samples of the track itself. But this one is a very, very, very distinct way of It's this synthesizer kind of likes to play that way, wants to start messing things up. Now, the plugin to me has this halo in the center. It's like, I don't want to say like a lens that needs cleaning. It's just a body of sound that is nice. It's there. However, when it goes away, somehow I still hear that the reverb is less masking, and the M3000 is doing this. And in some instances, you can't really tell, but in other instances, it's so clear. Let me do that again. That was the plugin. This is dry, and now hardware. Okay, let's do, I still think the hardware sounds better, but there's a little bit of, there's something. Let's do another thing. It's completely empirical. I'm just gonna throw the Amiga into the reverb and then let it dry out. I know I should do it, timed, and it should be the same. It's just got a vibe for it. This is a live stream, come on. So I'm gonna just throw it up and then come back down to minus infinite with the fader, and we're gonna hear the tail, because we haven't listened to tails. How clumsy I am. Tails are very important. Like, how do they feel? Okay, let's do this. Okay. You hear it depends on when I cut it, right? But by the way, my Amiga is going at the moment into the pre-Sonos Digimax FS. You might be thinking like, oh, he's got fancy preamplifiers. Who knows that kind of chip where it's going? This is I mean, it's a good preamp. I don't want to say it's pre-Sonos Digimax FS. I've made so much music on it. Yet it's not, Neve, API, Avalon, whatever. It's just great reverb. It's just the Digimax. Okay, there's no tubes, there's no transformers, weird things. So just so you know, to me it sounds so good, but to you maybe not. Anyway, let's throw a little bit more. Okay, this was a good throw. This sounded good. But come on, come on, the hardware's better. Every time I throw it into the 3000, the tail is so fluid. You hear how it goes down? I mean, the algorithm, okay, oh, YouTube, low quality, whatever. Okay, this was also good though. Okay, this was also good. So it's very time dependent. I'm getting biased on my own choices. But there's a different harmonic, and I mean, it can't be possible that each time I throw it into the 3000, I hear a higher resonance. Each time. Could be higher, louder volume. You hear how metallic that is in a good way? This one has modulation as well. It has modulation. Do I have modulation in here? Is it the same? Is this real life? Or is it fantasy? Do I have modulation in here? Oh, it wants me to get into expert mode. Press OK. People, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay? I'm scrolling down just to see space modulation. Oh, okay. Type off. Rate default. Type off, my friend. This is different. That's why. Okay, it's not. We're not comparing apples to apples. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. Okay. So the presets are different. Let me change camera. Drama on. The presets are different somehow. I spotted, you have to trust me, that Budapest West railway station, is it Budapest West or East? It's West. So we are at the same track. We ate the same cheap sandwich. It sounds different. Why? We got the same sandwich because if you go to the mod of the plugin and you go to the mod menu parameter section of the hardware, space mod type in the plugin was set to normal. Yes, normal. And space mod type on the hardware unit was set to off. So plugin had it normal. I don't know what I said. Plugin had it normal, I'm sure. And hardware had it off. But it's Budapest West railway station. Why did TC Electronic change the presets? They made a plugin that has exactly the same parameters. Are my presets completely changed? It cannot be possible. I can't have an M3000 whose presets, even film public places, has been changed. I refuse to think that. I know I've used Budapest West railway station a couple times. I don't remember touching anything. I don't know anybody. I'm completely lonely. There's no assistants. There's no studio managers any longer. There's nothing. There's nobody around here for miles. So it's the default. Why is this happening? Why did TC Electronic change the presets? Is it a firmware update of sorts? What is it? That's weird. That's super weird. Yet it still sounds different. There is that resonance that is just fascinatingly beautiful in the hardware that they haven't gotten into the plugin. Have this dramatic moment. We should do another one. Let's do Dog in the Alley. That's a good. Distance in Jungle, Big City, City Food Chase is another one I love. Backyard, Quantec Wide. Let's do Forest in Autumn. Okay? And I'm just gonna check the modulation because I'm thinking somebody got trigger happy with it. So it's off, okay? Forest in Autumn, film outside. Let me go find it. Switching camera for maximum fun. Forest in Autumn. Recall. Outside. Okay. So it's beautiful that there is, on the hardware, there is a preset Forest in Winter. Aha, so there's also not all the presets. Okay, but I loaded Forest in Autumn. Now, we go to edit this and we check that the modulation is off, just because it was modulation that was different. So we go edit, we go down below here to the infamous expert mode, and we drop down to modulation. Okay, off for off. So how about let's play something else. I'm gonna go play something else in the Amiga. Say what you want. I don't. I hear you thinking. You pretend you're not there, but I hear you thinking. So okay. So how about the M3000? Okay, that's Forest in Autumn. VSS. The tail is still different, but we got the levels right. I think we're kind of, it doesn't really feel good. Let's do a back and forth. It's hard. This is close, for sure. Let's do throws. Well, why is it off now? Okay. Oh, I see why. Hold on. Okay. It's a shorter tail, though. It feels shorter. DK2. DK2. Edit. Edit. Go up. Oh my god. Takes 300 hours to get there. DK2. 2. 55 minus 10. Okay, well, folks, this is the same thing now. And it is close, in fact. Yes. I still feel something more organic in the, I don't know. I have to leave these to you to really get a, is it better? Is the hardware better? Is the plugin better? We got down to what is actually weird, right? So TC Electronic made the M3000, and I have one there. TC Electronic also made VSS3, the plugin, and I have it here. They sound both fantastic, but the question was, does digital hardware sound the same as digital plugins? Because the DSP, the code they ported, it's done the same. So we've set it up, and I told you that it's an unfair comparison because the M3000 is going in analog through the patch bays with the D2A from my Lynx Aurora into the A to D, into cables and patch bays, and then the A to D of my M3000, which then uses the DSP, which is digital, then goes out of the M3000 again, so we have a D2A stage, and then we have to do cables and patch bays, and we go into the Aurora again, into the we actually don't go into the A to D because we go into the summing box first. So that's the third different thing, that we shouldn't have. D2A from the audio card, A to D from the M3000. And then we have the D2A from the M3000. Sorry, that's the fourth thing. The fourth one being the summing box. And then there's the A to D for the Aurora. Okay, so it's 5 things that are different, plus these differences are interconnected by cables, solder points, unit patch bays, bantam cables, patch, whatever you want to call them, right? So it's a lot of difference. It's got its own clock, while these ones being clocked by the Aurora, which has the antelope clock on. So the plugin is getting a clock that's not the crystal from the hardware, yet they sound really, really, really close. So at first it was like, all right, well, they sound super close. And they shouldn't be super close. So imagine if we do a one-to-one digital to digital comparison, because the M3000 has a digital in and out, which I don't use. And so you can't hear it because my studio's not plugged in that way. I'm not doing it just for that. But it was really close. Then we checked the presets and we noticed that yes, the plugin does have tons of presets that are exactly the same name and settings of the hardware, but the hardware has more. But the plugin has signature presets, which the hardware doesn't have. Okay, yet if you want a famous preset from the hardware, chances are you might not find it in the plugin. But then we took presets that were present in both situations, and we noticed that there were differences. So our question was, TC Electronic, why have you changed it? Because in one case with large wormhole, it's clear that I changed it. I also remember it being changed. But then we verified 3 or 4 presets, which absolutely I'm sure nobody changed, unless there's ghosts in here or gremlins. And they were different. Somebody built the preset in the plugin and added modulation to a preset in the hardware that originally didn't have it. And I was like, why? Because to me, it actually also sounded worse. I mean, it's a personal taste, but I liked it better in the hardware also because the setting was better. So when I took the modulation off in the plugin, it sounded better, but it still didn't have that pizzazz, that jump. But who knows how many parameters are different in that preset? It might be 2 out of 20, 30, but it's a lot, right? And so the takeout of today is, why have you changed it, TC Electronic? I love you so much, everybody in there, all your employees, all the people you've been. So I've done a factory tour, but why have you changed it? It sounds fantastic the way it was. Yet, engine-wise, if you copy the settings and everything, they're being honest with us. That engine is now in the plugin. They have not made a mock-up of it. It sounds truly good. And if you have VSS 4 HD, it's a completely different beast. It sounds also good. So we've tried it on the Prophet 6, Prophet 12. Then we tried it on the Bass Station, which is mono. And then we tried it on the Amiga, which is a weird quad setting. And it sounded different. The tails were getting a little bit more organic and stuff. But the tails could very well be the additional 2-bus doing something to the sound, right? It is transparent. I use it mostly here for funneling effects. But yes, I make a big deal out of reverbs in my music, and so I like to have a summing box on effects. Some of you might say, like, why do you use it on effects? It's like, use it on main tracks. Well, I'm different. I use it for effects. But to me, the difference is massive. I'm telling you, it really sounds different. So that's the end of our comparison. And it's unfair, done on the fly, live. It involved an Amiga 1200. So, and yet, it's fascinating. So I hope this kind of was a fun way, because this question came up, as I said, a couple weeks ago. And people said, is it the same thing? Because we were talking about pedals, which became plugins. And then we were like, well, okay, one person, I think it was Doug from my Discord, said, okay, what about this plugin and your hardware unit? They're the same thing. And I was like, all right, we're going to do a comparison, which we did. I hope you had fun with it. And, just the getaway obviously is not universal and absolute. This is just TC Electronic. But it's a beautiful, beautiful reverb for sure. If you don't have it, check it out, because VSS3 became a breakthrough in pretty much every production. A lot of films, a lot of game music has been written with TC Electronic stuff. I'm lucky enough to have a couple presets from people who made BAFTA, whatever, fireworks, and it still amazes me how natural it sounds. Yet there's a value in it, because it's supernatural somehow. Even the spaces that it wants to do realistically, to me, they're beautiful because they are stereotyped in a way that for a video game, for a movie, for science fiction, for stuff, I'm partial to it. Okay, well, I like it because it's stereotyping spaces. VSS4 HD is a little bit more natural. So that would be the counterpart if you really want a concert hall to feel like a concert hall. But, enough. I'm blabbering out of it. I like it. Test it out. There's a demo. If you like it, use it. All right? So, as usual, I hope this live stream, which happens on Fridays at 6 p.m., has you as excited as I was to do all that. And I hope it just gave you ideas, or just maybe had you think on which synthesizer or reverb to use. Or maybe you found out your reverb tails are too short. Maybe, maybe they're too long. I usually err on the long side just because I love to describe spaces there. So this was definitely biased towards long reverbs and not early reflection galore. But anyway, regardless, I hope this has been inspirational, motivating, just give you ideas and things to test. Remember, I'm running a 5,000 subscribers giveaway. There's a video in my channel in which you have to comment to join the raffle. If you do it and your comment gets picked, I will send you a Focusrite 2i2 Scarlett audio card. No matter where you live, no matter where you are, no matter, Focusrite doesn't even yet know about it. And they might jump in and send a free gift for you. But if they don't, and not because they're not kind, they're extremely kind, but they might be busy with other stuff, I'll buy it for you, okay? So just find that video and drop a comment there so that then your comment can get picked, or enter the raffle, and if you win, you win. I'll contact you, blah, blah, blah. I'll make a video and you'll have, the rules are all explained there. You'll have to write me an email and then I'll send you a code. We verify that you is you, and then off we go. I'll send you the audio card. This is to celebrate that I've reached almost, and that I will have reached, the 5,000 subscriber threshold. Very happy about it. Very honored that you people are watching my replays. I know I don't fall into a lot of times. Your schedule is different than mine, but you can rewatch this stuff, right? So thank you very much again for being with me. Ciao.